Hi everyone, I'm Paola Bertola and I'm a professor of design at Politecnico di Milano University. My field of expertise relates to design-driven innovation and branding in culture-intensive industries. My recent research and projects focus on impacts of digital transformation on fashion and how design can contribute to drive the ongoing change towards more sustainable paradigms. The aim of this lecture is to explain the nature of the so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution and how it is impacting on the fashion system. Fashion is a multifaceted phenomenon rooted in the history of humankind within its search for cultural identity and personal development, whereby costumes are a fundamental brick of any social system. But it is also an important industry which more recently has been at the very center of mass production and globalization processes, producing several negative impacts on social communities and becoming the second polluting industry in the world. In fact, fashion has been a long-lasting protagonist in industrial revolution cycles, being the textile and garments industry a crucial player in UK transformation since the late 18th century, and later in the whole European early industrialization. The steam machines applied to textile productions are still a symbol of the first industrial revolution. Since the last decades of the 18th century, technologies have been transforming manufacturing, shaping the form of our economies and societies. The first industrial revolution led to the first mechanization of manufacturing through water and steam-powered technologies. The second one was characterized by the introduction of electrically powered mass production, and the third one to electronically controlled and computer-aided manufacturing, with a rhythm that took for each cycle almost a century. We are now within the so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution, which embeds the potential of the Internet into the model of a smart factory. It is based on the convergence between physical and digital environments, where advanced robotic automation is controlled by a set of technologies. The new revolution took half of the time to start, and it is showing that not only advances in technology promote radical changes, but also that their speed is accelerating. This transformation is also referred to as Industry 4.0. This naming comes from a strategic initiative launched in Germany in 2011 and then followed by similar plans in all other European countries. This model aims to implement digital manufacturing also by increasing digitization and the interconnection of products, value chains, and business models. It also aims at supporting the networking among industry partners. This transition has been impacting all industries, including fashion, where in particular two kinds of new players have been entering the system. On the one hand, since the first decade of the new millennium, tech colossi such as Google and Amazon have been identifying fashion as a promising field for expanding their business. On the other hand, a new generation of startups have been populating the fashion market with fresher business ideas. In the first case, tech colossi could rely on and exploit a unique key asset, their online large and powerful customer network that they have empowered by AI to profile users and customize their fashion retail offer, supported by a globally widespread logistics. An example of this approach is the case of Prime Wardrobe, an online advanced retail service developed by Amazon, ready to shift to directly produce private labels and to become a competitor for traditional fashion brands. Another interesting example is offered by Airbnb platform with the Airbnb for 3.1 Philip Lim collaboration. It is a homeware limited edition collection with a social innovation content creating using the inputs of lifestyles and habits gathered through the gigantic network of travelers linked to Airbnb. A clear sign that sophisticated customer relationship management strategy, CRM for short, empowered by AI systems, for example machine learning, provide unique insights on customer profiling to cover niche demands and reach new markets. In the second case, new fashion competitors made of startups mainly belong to other industries, for example ICT. These newcomers have been creating a very large ecosystem of new fashion services, products, solutions and business models, quickly taking advantage of the potential of digital technologies. The list of companies in the table represent brands, mainly retail-oriented, which were not even present in the market since 10 years ago and are now considered unicorns, managing a large portion of the fashion retail business. Fashion is now proven to be a fertile ground for tech startups to grow fast. While this new fashion tech system was spreading, traditional established fashion companies have been slow to embrace digital transformation, and they have undertaken two main paths. On the one hand, they moved with a technical engineering approach rather than a systemic design-driven approach, often implementing technological transformation with a narrow perspective, looking into the latest technology software solution to lean on or substitute part of already existing processes. On the other hand, lacking R&D and ICT systems culture, they have been embracing the open innovation paradigm, meaning they have looked for new ideas outside the boundaries of their organizations. As it is shown in the scheme, first traditional retailers, then fast fashion kings, and finally the luxury industry, anticipated by groups such as LVMH and Kering, have moved into the open innovation ecosystem. With the aim of internalizing outsourced innovation by sponsoring through venture funds or incubators and accelerators, promising startups and newcos. The first approach is more typical of the early wave of the Industry 4.0 plans, which were too often factory-centered and too simplistic. In fact, the potential in connecting machines and humans within smart factories has much further implication if digital technologies are applied in linking resources across their boundaries. Digital networks can create an integrated system of actors, assets, and stakeholders where not only supply chains can be real-time tuned with the factory, but also retail channels and even products and final customers can communicate and exchange data in real time. Therefore, decision-making processes can be better informed by market and user demands, making the factory a node of a complex network ecosystem. To conclude, during this lecture you have learned the meaning of Industry 4.0 and the way the fashion system has been impacted by digital transformations of the fourth industrial revolution.